I think I can do it. I think I can do some cutting demonstration on this here split pole with some knives. Now, let's look at the pole. It has an interesting feature. It actually is rather screwy. But if we go all the way back, you'll actually pretty much get that flat, right? If I lay this flat, right, see that's flat? And then I can zoom. You'll see that it will lie flat at the other end with a little bit of whittling, right? Let me give that a 90-degree rotation here. Huh? See? So yeah, a little bit of whittling, and that will go into my sawhorse table at the camp. I was just out there today, but it was raining, so I thought, well, so I can continue, I'll just grab this, whittle on it a bit as I'm walking, you know, make it into a kind of a working stick by whittling down the end so it's comfy in the hand, and then walk home with it. And now I'm here, and you know, I was just sitting whittling with this little knife. Blade looks fugly, but it's a cool knife. I really like it. And yeah, I put this cord wrap on it, and the excess I made into the lanyard, so it works pretty well. Convex the edge out. Been carrying it kind of like an external boot carry here, just in the boot. If I pull like this, chances are the sheath will come out, but with the little thumb click there, the sheath retention on this is excellent. I reckon you could do whatever with this. Neck carry, shoulder strap carry, whatever, no problem. Anyway, well, back to the knife. Yeah, I convex the edge. So you could say that right behind the edge, I thinned it out. But behind that, I actually widened it out a little bit at this stage. And the CPM 3V will hold a scratch quite as well as it'll hold an edge, I reckon. And I don't have proper grinding equipment here at home. So what was I doing? I had this locked into my leg here, and I thought, I can carve like this on camera. Get some content made for social media. Nothing more important in life than social media. No. Let's have a look at how this whittles. Debarks. It's a tough bit, this bit. Get a knot there. That's why. See how it cuts through that knot? Pas de problème. But, yeah, you're doing all this work. The handle, even though it is much improved, I put this wrap on up to here so that it would still go in the sheath, but that basically gives you a little finger choil here for the index. And, you know, so you can, especially with the lanyard, you can get a good confident grip on it, but it's still very angular. It's very squared off, you know. So especially, for example, here on the index, you're right on that angle there. So, you know, it's a great little boot carry, but of course, since I saw the knife, I was thinking, oh, re-handle, taper tang, puko handle, right? tiddly little poco in CPM 3V with a high Sabervex grind kind of fusion brain thing. But yeah, the handle situation made me envision something, and I realized that what I was envisioning, I have. Because of my failed, or you might say suspended, venture as a knife salesman, this is something else that I had in a display. It never sold. I did sell a few knives, but it wasn't worth the rent I was paying for the display. So pulled out and ended up with a box of knives of varying qualities and what have you. So I've just been testing that now. That is not rust. This knife is effectively brand new and has made 5 cuts on this thing. And I was like, wow, out of this world. This is, you can see very clearly there on that final bevel that this is a 3-layer. This is a sandwich steel, right? You got 2 soft stainless layers and then a high carbon layer in the middle there. And that's a 0 edge, right? So this thing really, really cuts. And also, I wouldn't say it actually cuts necessarily more than this knife. It's just that you get so much more. Okay, now if I'm in a saber, you see I can actually dig in more. So yeah, there we go. Saber grip preferable. But again, not so comfy to have to grip this in a saber grip as to hold this stout, chunky thing in a 3-finger hammer grip. I found that the pinky kind of settles on this little button there, but that's actually to go in the sheath. The sheath clips on there, so you get an excellent retention in your sheath, and that will actually go comfortably in your pocket, I believe. You can put that on your belt and have this in your pocket. But it is, it's a very chunky handle in this direction. And on my other Hella knives, I have noticed, because I have a couple of others, that they tend to be content to leave some very sharp edges, which, in a sense, favor the aesthetic. The collector might be very happy to have that because it's so well done. No chips, no scuffs, nothing. But it's a right, it's a right angle. It's not comfortable. And it's absolutely no problem to grab a knife or some sandpaper and take those corners off. And that's what I've been doing. On my other Hella fixed blade, the other one is a folding pocket knife, so that would require the attention of a grinder to deal with the same thing, sharp edges, which they left on there. But these blades are incredible performers. You wouldn't want to baton on them or anything, because it's mostly soft. It's 2/3 soft steel. But when it comes to cutting, I reckon this will cut in this context. This will compete with any super steel, I reckon. Just going to throw that out there. I have no qualifications to say so. But one must assume that Hella, they've been making these knives, I think, for a couple of centuries with this with this laminate steel. So they know what they're doing. And the nature of it means you can put a much harder than regular carbon steel layer in the middle there because it's supported, I guess. So yeah, that was my test. What is it like if you put a really chunky handle on one of these blades? And the effect is that it gives you about 3 times the power. But I could have told you that without trying, but this way I get to make a mess and make a video. Thanks for watching.